The future of a child, of course, has been formed by God Himself, because God alone knows your tomorrow. Yes. Welcome to Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, a program that brings to your doorstep the lives of the physically challenged persons in our society. And of course, today I am very excited because I have a wonderful guest in the house. Don't go away, stay with us. We will be back very shortly.
This is Against All Odds.
You know, a lot of people seeing you today, how much you've achieved,
Yes.
and how you've been able to be the man you wanted and dreamt of being, will not know the struggles and the challenges. So I want to start from the very top.
Yeah.
How were you actually born like this?
Let me say that this is the way and manner physically that I came to this world. I was born like this. My mother gave birth to twins. My twin sister came out first, and I came out second. Fortunately, that time, unfortunately, but for me, I'm fortunate to be like this, I came out this way. And the hospital, after wrapped my hands, they only showed the private part of me to my mother, that the first is female, this one is male. So my mother was so happy. My mother was so happy that, oh, I've got twins. But later, after a sort of preparation to alert her of the type of child she has just delivered, they gave her Bonvita, tea, and put some things that can sleep quickly. So immediately they brought me and showed my hands. My mother busted into tears, and she fainted. And then later they revived her and said, "Don't worry, we will look after this boy." So I was born this way. And the miracle is that how come in the same womb, one has deformity of two hands and the other has no deformity at all? So it becomes something strange to people. Don't know how, why. Is this a medical problem? Is this spiritual? Is whatever it is? Nobody knows. And so far so good, nobody has been able to point out that this is exactly the cause. If my mother took a bad drugs, what happens to the second? Because we are feeding from the same womb. So it means, therefore, God has a purpose of creating me the way He has created me. And the Bible let me know that I have created you even before you entered the womb of your parents. There were confusions in the family. Do we have to leave this child this way, or should we terminate? Because since you have two children, this one has deformity, this one is a shame. Nobody wants to show me as a child in the family. So there were confusions. But the hospital assisted. They said, well, bring this special child every day, hand over to us in the morning, and then in the evening come back. We'll take over so that he will not be in your house throughout the day. So I enjoyed a sort of serious medical attention for more than 6 months. So my mother would not be weeping all the time. And that's how everything started. And then there was a meeting held in the family again that they should terminate my life. They persuaded my mother. She was weeping. But one of the eldest brother in the meeting said, no, he disagreed. He went out at the a house, Orita Mary Fijabi compound, Ibadan, Oyo State. That's where I was born. So he leaked the information to the market because our house is facing the market, telling people that that child inside the house, if you hear that he died, though, they killed him. So the alertness created awareness, people trooping, and the meeting scattered. And so I want to believe that if God has a way of taking you far, and people who are holding meeting against your destiny, one person will disagree and they will scatter. I used to use it to pray for people, that wherever people gather against you, somebody will disagree so that your enemy will be scattered. It has happened in my life. I wish to say it to people and it works. Also, I had problem of crawling. I cannot crawl because the two hands, when you see these hands, and you can think back for so many years, going to 60 years now, you can imagine how tiny the hands you would have been. So I couldn't walk. My twin sister started walking after 1 year. But for me, I started after 6 years. And it was just one day. One day, my twin sister came, Paul, you are not walking. I've been walking, going around the areas. You are not walking. Can you walk? You have to walk today. And something just pulled my back to the wall and I stood up. And as I stood up, I hanged with the wall. She went to the market, cried, Paul has rising today. And they came. Everybody saw me. Some were happy. Some were happy with tears. So it can happen. So it can happen. And they were dropping money by my feet. God, thank you. You are wonderful. You are this. And that was my beginning. And I started walking. And when they discovered that I was walking and I now walking into the market, they said, my God, my mother is selling pepper. Said, They called my mother again. This boy has to leave the city of Ibadan. You have to take her or take him to the hometown. The hometown is Ilawu Ejigbo in Osun State now. So my mother took the two of us to the grandmother because my mother just said, who else can bear the body? Who else can share? She remembered her mother. So she took me there. So when we got there, I was playing with other children in the area, and my mother sneaked out with my twin sister to Ibadan. And I was abandoned there. I stood there. I faced a lot of challenges like orphans. No mother, no father in the area. It's our hometown, but as God will have it, I faced a lot of challenges. Even my grandmother used to call me so many names. You are a spirit. You are not fit to enter my daughter's womb. You cannot be useful. A child that will live with an old woman must be a useful one. Must be the one that can use hands, can voice play. I have to do everything for you. How come you become? I said, Mama, it's not my fault. This is the way God has created me. People came to see a new child. As they were smiling to my sister, they were dropping tears for me. And as a child, I was also returning it with cries, tears, not knowing the word I am. Take note that the first miracle was that I walked one day after 6 years of crawling. I see my life as a life that has come for a purpose.
Yes.
And even the missionaries planned to carry me to UK for repair of my hands to normal. But the enemies of my mother disagree again. So I was left to suffer the way I was. But I was growing in that area, the town Ilawu. I went to normal schools. The headmaster rejected me, saying, no, I couldn't start my primary school until after 10, 11 years for cause of rejection. I saw Arabic school, a local Arabic school of my uncle. I went there. And that was where I trained myself how to write. Read and write. I'm Paul, I'm a Christian. I went to Arabic school because I was so determined that I must go to school because there is no other option. In that area, people go to farms. I cannot farms. So I went there. I said, Oga, I want to learn Arabic. I said, like alif, ba, ta, sa, se. We write from right to the left on the planks. So after 1 year of training myself, I went back to the school, challenged the headmaster. If it is writing, I can write. He said, no. I said, I can write. Test me. The day he tested me, the day he gave me admission. And truth to talk, let me tell you, I became one of the best students, leading the class. Not only second person, only first position. When we go to the primary 6, they have to choose the best student as the senior prefect. And so they had a meeting with the headmaster. Who is going to be the senior prefect? The headmaster said, who is the first person? He said, this is the person scoring. Okay, we have no choice. But will we be able to handle the affairs of the children, the schools? He said, why not? It's of the brain. It's not of the hand. At least if it's of hand, he can write. So what else? And so I was made a senior prefect. And that was the first trait of leadership in my life. That irrespective of my condition, irrespective of the way I was created, I started leading a group of people. And when I finished, I moved out of the town to Ejigbo, the biggest city again in that area for secondary school. And when I go to secondary modern school, by the second year, they said anybody in secondary modern school will eventually end up as a teacher. I didn't plan to be a teacher. So after second year, I moved to a new secondary school. The school is called Anzaruddin High School, Ejigbo. And this is a new school, completely new school. We did the exam, we all passed and admitted. As we are on the line, the principal was inspecting the new student and discovered me, said, wow, no, you can't be a student here. You can't be a student here. This is a new school. It's not a special school. So I was turned back. And I didn't agree with that challenge. I went to my father, who has become a king. And then we went to Kabiyesi Elejigbo of Ejigbo. And I reported the principal. Said, I did the exam, I passed. And he turned me and sent me out of the school. The Kabiyesi sent for the principal. When the principal got and found me by the side of Kabiyesi, this boy, Kabiyesi said, did this boy do the exam? He said, yes. Why did you reject him and turn him back? He said, because. I said, did he do the exam? He said, yes, you have to. I am the owner, I'm the head of this city, this town. You must admit. The principal said, well, maybe they did the exam for him. Kabiyesi said, if you don't believe, let him. They asked me, can you do the exam again? I said, why not? So a supplementary exam was organized just because of me. And they announced so that other people can join, because there are some other people who want to come in too. So at the exam, they gave the instruction to the supervisor to monitor my writing, to ensure that nobody assisted me. And he stood behind me. Because I'm coming for the second time. I've already have the idea of type of questions, blah, blah, blah. So I finished within, it's 1 hour, 1.5 hours paper. Within 1 hour I finished, and I handed over my paper. The man marked my paper immediately and said, this man has scored 97%. He said, he just announced, this is the only handicap to whom we commit this exam. All of you are still on the paper. He just stopped them. He said, if you can finish with handwriting within 1 hour, what are you doing? Within 1 hour, 30 minutes. And so, presented me to the principal that this man did well. The principal had no choice. I entered the school. So when we enter, the first year we had to do Thanksgiving Day of the school, and there is a poem, 14 stanzas, titled If You Can Keep Your Head While Others. See, that was the poem. It was a 14 stanzas poem. The principal announced that on the Thanksgiving Day, the best student who can cram this thing will be the presenter to the people, parents, and everybody coming for the first time in the school. And we were 1A, 1B, 1C classrooms. 3 people emerged from each of the classes, and I became one of them. So they presented 3 of us to the principal. Said, these are the best students who can read this thing off head. Said, the principal saw me again and said, you this boy, you are still among them. And the moment you miss a word or a sentence, you are out. Let me tell you the truth. I emerged the best student among the 3. I never miss one word. If you have a challenge, it doesn't have anything to do with your barrier. No. I don't allow the challenge in my hands to derail my ambition. I move forward. I always want to excel. I want to struggle with able people. I never attended any special school. I went to normal schools, rubbed soldier with. I was a footballer. I played football in the primary school. I played football in the secondary school. I was a member of a football club in Ejigbo. We used to be playing from one turn to another. One day it was funny. I told my colleague, I said, let me be the goalkeeper today. And they all laugh and say, which hand you go? You hold. Who go kill you with a shot? I said, you shoot, I will hold. It was a drama. I like to do things in a special way. I don't look at myself the way people look at me. And it is where I'm going that I look. And the moment when I look to where I'm going, I move forward. I never move backward. Please call me back. Don't worry. So I am saying this because with God, all things are possible. I'm able to do this. I can pick my call, say hello, how are you? I will call you back. This is my life.
Do you
And
bath yourself?
I do everything. My wife can bring my food. You can bring my food and let me eat. I do everything. You see, God is a perfect God. He has never been a wicked God. What I want people to know is that the moment you look down upon yourself, you will be going down. But if you look forward and you are looking towards a better something. Right now, I want to eat. And before, my mother used to feed me. And one day I said, please, mommy, stop feeding me. Let me feed myself. Because one day, you will not be available.
And you have to
and I have to do it myself.
So you trained yourself.
So I learned how to eat. In fact, later I used spoon. I used to use my hand. My mother will say, this your hand will burnt inside hot amala. I said, if your own hand was not burnt, my own will not be burnt. And therefore, you can see how I eat neatly, perfectly.
Yes.
Nobody needs to feed me. I feed myself. And when I'm
It's all 18 of the mind.
And when I'm eating, some people in a public place, while I'm eating, they are watching me. Before they know it, I finish my food. Their own is getting cold. Because I don't know somebody's looking at me. So, this is life. And let me tell you, I don't believe that there's anything one cannot do. I've proved to the world that there is virtually ability in disability.
Yes.
What we are looking at is one single disability. But in my body, I have a lot of abilities.
Yes.
My brain thinks fast and faster.
And very sharp.
Very sharp.
Your eyes see
very
well.
I wake up in the day, I pray, 5 a.m. After prayer, I pick my paper and pen. I ask myself, what did I fail to do yesterday that I want to do today? What's the unfinished business? How do I do my life? How do I get funds? How do I do this? I don't want to be a beggar. I want to be on my own. What do I do to earn a living? And let me tell you today, I'm somebody that a lot of people depend upon. After secondary school, I got a job in local government. Sometimes I may not have straw in a place. Yes. I use my hands to carry the water. I don't want to know anybody's looking at me. I swing like this. And there and then I will finish. You see, doing something yourself independently is the best in life. It's not a matter of the way you handle your own or the way I handle my own. All I know is that I've been able to achieve what
the
other
man
can achieve.
achieving.
No barriers. So, after the secondary school, I got a job in local government. We got employment. We did an interview. And the interviewer, after passing the exam, the head of local government said, no, you cannot work in this council because we have to be helping you carry file. I said, no, don't help me to carry file. I carried books when I was in school. Eventually, somebody said, I knew about this boy in his secondary school. He was one of the best students. Secretary, if you cannot take him, I will take him. That one is the treasurer of the local government. So he took me to the treasury department. And when you consider the department in local government, administration, and Treasury. Treasury is one of the good location.
Yes.
Even when I need money, I can borrow. I don't steal. And they put me under the taxes collected in turn. When they return the fund, I take custody because the council believed I can be a trusted person. The word trust started down on me. Anywhere I am, I must be honest, dedicated, and trusted. So I started this way.
And you were able to count money?
No, I can't money. I can't money. I pack it very well. I have a locker. I lock it up and hand over to at the end of the day, hand over to the treasurer of the council. And I did well. Later, the secretary who rejected me discovered that I am writing better than those he picked. And he begged the treasurer, say, I've seen that this guy is working well. Please bring him back. So I was returned to the admin department. The man sat me down and said, look, my brother, I can see that you have a future. I can see you as a potential secretary of this local government in future. Go and study local government administration at the University of Ife so that you will be the head in future. And so I went there. They gave me admission at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. And I passed out very well. I was one of the student union leader at Ife. When they were doing election, I went there, I jumped on the table, I declared myself. I said, who is this person? I said, I am a person, I'm a man. I can do what others are doing, blah, blah, blah. And we did the election, and I won. Said, let us give him a chance. Our bodies may be weak. Our brains are capable. Yes. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. If you give us a chance, we shall perform. Our bodies may be weak. Our brains are capable. If you give us a chance, we shall perform. We say, able, we are able, more than able, so please give us a chance. So I was given a chance, and I became the director of social welfare, Murtala Mohammed Hall, University of Ife, and I did well. And I was given a certificate of merit for performing very well. I fought for the workers in the university hall. They are not paying them salaries. They were working for us. I led them. When the day saw me, say, wow, you came here because of these people with your conditions? I said, yes. They are working. They're boring. So, okay, we have to pay them salary. And therefore, I was also a labor leader in local government. And I used to fight for the workers' interest. And when I'm fighting, I fight with all my energy. You cannot defeat my point. You can't defeat my point. Because I'm going to take it to a level that you will be pushed and say, we just must listen. I don't feel what people think I am. I feel of where I'm going. And I'm getting better. Came back from university, became a senior staff in local government. While I was doing this, the NTA came up, discovered me as a community leader of my hometown, fighting for the development of the school. They took me on like a program you are doing like this. Say, the world must know you. And that was how the governor of Oyo State that time, with the assistance of a commissioner who is a special educationist, spotted me and became friends. And they brought me to come and become the principal of a federal rehabilitation center for the disabled in Ibadan. The center is a vocational center where people like me can be trained. Instead of going to school, they came in, they trained one trade, computer, weaving, tie and dye, shoemaking, animal husbandry, all sorts of things. And in summary, I worked there as principal for 16 years. And I trained people and I got job for them. I don't graduate without job. If every vice chancellor of universities bothered about the employment of all their students, there will not be unemployment in the market today.
So was it at that point, when you were principal for 16 years, that brought to your mind the need to bring together all the disabled people together?
You are right.
And then form the
when I became the principal of the school, I have a lot of people of different disability groups. Association of the Deaf, Association of the Blind, Association of the Physical, Association of Spinal Cord. Then, because they are all students under me, working together, I said, why can't we have a joint association where these people bring their issues together and present to government? And when I traveled abroad to Kenya, Malawi, Zimbabwe in 1991, I also developed the idea that at the international level, there was no Nigerian umbrella organization. So I came back. I first of all experimented it in Oyo State between 1990 to 1992. When I did it successfully as the chairman, then I moved to the national level, to establish national level in 1992 at the University of Jos, all the way from Ibadan. I have a brother at the University of Jos, Special Education Department. So I used that platform to set up a congress, first one in Nigeria. And the then governor, Fadele Stabgon, supported me. The then president, Babangida, supported me to organize it. And we had the first national congress where all disability groups in Nigeria, they were together. And what is the purpose of the gathering? The formation of this organization. And I was the one that presented the opening speech to all of them. And at the end of this, okay, now let us have election of our officer to run the organization. And to all of them, they believe somebody has been doing something somewhere and they brought an idea. We have no choice. So they did an election where they elected me as the first president and others from across disability groups and different parts of Nigeria. And we started off. Our first obstacles was to go around the whole state of Nigeria to plant the chapters. And it was a great challenge. There was no fund. I have to use connection of people I know in the state, stay in their house, go to government offices, look for these people, look for the organizations, and bring them together. But to the glory of God today, all these states are functioning very well. People are benefiting. The struggle, the advocacy, sensitization, awareness, all continues. You went to university, you can't get a job, you use the organization to fight, and they are creating employment. Politically, we have special advisors. We fight for your cause. Some don't have money. We get scholarship for them. Some have money. They have other problems, medical problems. We assisted them. We can confront government as an association. You cannot get something from government as individual all the time. But mind you, the challenges faced by many people with disability are so enormous. Even people don't expect us to be married or marry. When I wanted to marry my wife. People were telling some they were divided in their family. Some were saying, "Are you blind? You want to marry a man like that?" But my wife saw gold in me, saw something beyond my hands. Yes. She was so close to me that she can see that I can use my hand effectively. And if one is looking at that issue of hands, you will be the loser. So she saw responsibility in me. She saw hope in me, and she agreed. She told them that, "Please don't follow me. I'm the one to live with him. So leave me alone. This is my decision." And she married me. Today, my wife gave me beautiful children. The first child, people went to the hospital to see. They were looking for the hands. Yes. Maybe the hands will be. That's why I say God is not wicked. Yes. It is not hereditary. It is not a disease. It's not accident. It's not sickness. So they saw a beautiful boy, good hands, followed by a beautiful girl, who is today a registered nurse in America.
Thank you very much for staying with us on Against All Odds. If you agree with me that this program has actually touched your life, can we do this again?